Tragedy in Texas as at least 24 lives are lost in a massive flash flood that struck overnight. The Guadalupe River rose more than 26 feet in under an hour, taking residents by surprise and devastating entire communities. The hardest hit area was a Christian girls' summer camp called Camp Mystic. More than 20 young girls are still missing as emergency crews work around the clock, using helicopters and boats to reach stranded victims. Over 237 people have been rescued so far, many of them airlifted from rooftops and trees. Families across the country are waiting desperately for news of their loved ones. This disaster has raised serious questions about the lack of a flood warning system in the region. Local officials admit they were unprepared for a flood of this scale. As the search continues, the heartbreak deepens. Lives have been shattered. A community has been changed forever. How many of these lives could have been saved if a proper alert system had been in place?
Authorities say 237 people have been rescued so far, about 167 of those by helicopter. Names of those deceased have not been provided at this point in time. We know about several children's camps directly hit and unfortunately a nightmare scenario. Some children still missing, but officials did not provide specific details about how many children are missing or if any are among those killed. During the press conference, state and local officials were making a case that this was somewhat unpredictable, that none of their weather forecasts called for the amount of rain and flooding that we're seeing. The Guadalupe River rising about 26 feet in less than an hour. According to Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick, state emergency operations had briefings on Thursday. So before any of this happened about potential severe weather in the area, they say the National Weather Service only called for about 3 to 6 inches of rain, but that was enough where state officials say they had some emergency response teams on standby, and they were immediately activated once the flooding took place, specifically swift water rescue teams. They arrived at noon yesterday. We're just learning about that now during the press conference. And to explain how quickly the flooding happened, officials say one of the first responder vehicles was washed away as the flooding hit. State officials saying even first responders were caught off guard.
We'll stop at nothing to ensure that every asset and person and plane and whatever is needed is going to be involved in the process of rescuing every last person and ensure everybody involved in this is going to be fully accounted for.
But I'd also ask, please pray for our community. This is a hard day, and there will be hard days to come. Pray for us. We covet your prayers. Thank you.
So the Kerr County Sheriff says they have more than enough help at this point in time as far as resources go. Again, it's just time is of the essence because they're still calling this a search and rescue mission. Again, as Casey Stiegel was pointing out, that word rescue, very crucial because they believe that there is still hope, that there are people who are survivors who could be rescued. They say they're going to work around the clock until everyone has been either picked up or identified. To give you a breakdown of how far this search area goes, officials during the press conference were saying that it extends 30 miles west of Kerrville. So that gives you an idea of how far this water was rushing and how far some people potentially could have been swept away.
So there are families all over the state, including several here in North Texas, hoping to hear good news about their missing loved ones.
And Fox 4's Peyton Yeager is in studio tonight with more. Peyton.
Hi, Heather. We know families of the Camp Mystic girls who are stationed at a nearby elementary school in Ingram, where the rescued girls will be dropped off. I've been in touch with some parents who are still waiting for any information on their missing children. Those missing girls haven't made any contact since early this morning.
Hours of agony for panicked parents of children at the all-girls summer camp, Camp Mystic in Hunt, Texas, after catastrophic flooding along the Guadalupe River. Around 7 Friday evening, Texas game wardens announced they made entry into Camp Mystic with vehicles and were bringing campers out. Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick announced just hours earlier the summer camp housed more than 750 girls, but around 24 campers were still unaccounted for. Among the missing, girls from North Texas. This includes Eloise Peck on the left and Lila Bonner on the right. Both are from Dallas. Also from Dallas, 8-year-old Hadley Hannah. Her father is on the ground in Kerr County. Also, Fort Worth Mayor Maddie Parker posted to X, "We have Fort Worth families impacted specifically by missing girls at Camp Mystic." As search and rescue efforts continued on Friday, desperate family members rushed to the flood zone. A Burleson family made the trip to Kerr County, hoping to find Joni and Robert Brake. The couple staying at an RV park off the river where cabins were washed away. But they haven't made contact with family since the early morning hours.
Debris is floating in the river, so you never know what's floating. If it's a tree, we've seen RVs, we've seen refrigerators.
Elizabeth Copeland is from Prosper. Her family traveled to a Kerrville RV park to celebrate the 4th. It now looks like this. The Copelands are safe, holding their boys tighter tonight.
Trying to keep your kids calm in a very chaotic situation.
And back to the missing campers, I've been hearing from families from Houston, San Antonio, and also Beaumont who haven't heard from their children either. It's a very fluid situation. But for tonight, those parents, they are sitting and waiting at that elementary school in Kerr County. Heather, back to you.
Heart just breaks for them. Fox 4's Peyton Yeager live for us tonight on this breaking story. Peyton, thank you.
This is No Filter News. Truth served raw, bold, and uncut. Hit that sub, stay loud, and catch us on the next drop. We don't fade out. We level up.